Hello, friend. Whew. It is icy out here today. I am determined. I'm out here again, walking, talking, audio journaling. I don't know why I have such a hard time saying audio. It's like a tongue twister when I say audio journaling for some reason. Oh, I am so frustrated this morning. So as you know, I bought the Rode GoPro 2. Here is my impromptu review. I do not like it. It has such trouble charging, and I'm sending it back. I already sent back one of the pieces wouldn't charge. I think it was like the receiver, and they sent me a new one, and this one won't charge. So I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm not going to deal with this every morning. I have tried in every way to get it to charge. And the other one had the same problem. So I'm like, it's obviously the unit. I don't know. So I was really hoping to get a nice portable mic, but man, it is proving quite the little adventure finding one. So I'm back to my trusty Apple earphones. Not great in the wind, and it's a little breezy out here, but it is what it is. The show must go on. So eventually my sound might be better. We'll see. So today, what's been on my heart and my mind is the breakthrough spot in the journey. So we've been talking a lot about setbacks in the last few episodes and how to navigate those. But I guess there could be like a setback within a breakthrough. But I want to talk to the spot of the breakthrough and how, if we're not careful, we can give up our blessing, our promotion, our increase in that spot. So I just really love TikTok. It's my favorite of all the social medias. I don't really get on any of the other ones. I just get on TikTok here and there. I was watching this TikTok video, and this girl was talking about how she knew this other girl in high school. She was grinding and setting up her TikTok account, and she was doing amazing, and she had so many haters. The whole school hated her. And this girl who's talking about this story, she's like, I couldn't understand why. She didn't actually do anything to anybody. And now all these years later, I got it. She was doing her thing and she didn't give up. She didn't care how many haters that she had. She was determined. And now look at her. She's so successful. And the Holy Spirit just whispered to me in that moment, when you go from where you are to your increase, to your blessing, to your promotion, to a new version of yourself, a better version of yourself, you have to go through this spot where the pressure is against you, where adversity hits, where the haters are, where it's like this point of resistance. And it separates the weak from the strong. Are you going to push through that? Are you going to embrace whatever hardship is there? And you're just going to keep grinding and you're just going to keep going. Now, there's a difference if God is telling you no versus you've got to push through this resistance. There's some resistance there. And those who stay the course and can handle that, they're the ones who build the strength to hold that blessing. And those who pull back and they don't push through and they don't want to go through that discomfort and they don't want to face the haters, because there's going to be haters. Suddenly, when you start standing in your place, when you start showing up, when you start being seen, People are going to notice you. And there's always going to be haters. There's always going to be the people who just do not want to see anyone succeed. You're going to catch the attention of the enemy. And he's like, oh no, you're not going to escape that prison. No. I'm going to put a stop to that. And the thing is I feel like God gives us the promise, if it is in his will and it is divinely ours, we have the promise that we will overcome whatever is there. It's ours. We just have to reach out and grab it. And we have to push through that tough spot to get that. We have to endure that spot to grow the strength, to hold the increase. We have to let go of the old version of ourselves. We're in a period of being rebuilt, being strengthened, getting what we need, and it can be a painful period. But as we stay there, as we endure, as we keep pushing forward against all odds, eventually we are going to develop into a person who has that thing. And there is a growth period. And Nikki and I were talking about this. I want to say it was like yesterday or the day before, both days I feel like. And Nikki's got her own battle that she's going through. I'll let her speak on that. And I'm going through growing pains right now. You know, I'm learning to hold the weight of losing 2 children. I am learning to step out and be bigger and start a podcast. And you have to step into this uncomfortable place. You have to be willing. Nikki was talking about it. And I actually ended up responding to hers, and it was, on fire. Holy Spirit was moving. And I'm probably going to post that one, because we were just talking about how the flesh craves to stay where it is. It craves comfort. It craves ease. It doesn't want, the spirit and the flesh are at odds. So the spirit wants you to step into your highest purpose, your highest calling. It has something maybe that it wants you to go do, or it has a certain way it wants you to live in. The flesh or the enemy or other people or just circumstances can come against that. It doesn't want to be uncomfortable. It doesn't want to feel the pain. However, if we continue to give in to our addictions and our comforts, we never really become who God is calling us to be or go where God is calling us to go. We end up making our comfort, whatever flavor that is for you, whatever type of comfort or addiction, we make that our God. We worship it. We bow down to it because we don't want to feel the pain. And it really can become an idol. This is what we were talking about in this other conversation. And yeah, so if you're in a spot where you are growing, it's a growth spot. It's not necessarily a setback, I wouldn't say. It's a spot where you got to step out and you got to be uncomfortable and you got to let go of that safety, that feeling of safety, whatever is giving you that feeling of safety. I might be repeating myself here if I publish the other one, but I have been reading the Old Testament and time again, it's just this repetitive situation in the Old Testament where God frees his people and then they put these idols before God. They start to worship these idols. They start to take on the ways that he told them not to take on. And they forget him, and he lets them. He lets them go the way they want to go. And eventually they end up as slaves, as prisoners, as exiles. And they're overcome by the enemy. And then they find God again, and he frees them. And I think the lesson here is staying in obedience, stepping out where God's calling us to go, letting go of our comforts in the desert, The Israelites were complaining because they weren't comfortable. They didn't have the food they wanted to have. They didn't have the luxuries they wanted to have. They were like, let's just go back to Egypt. At least there we had some type of life. And this is speaking to that desert place when you're going from the old, where you were a prisoner, where you were a slave, into the promised land. It's that desert spot. And we hash this out on this podcast all the time because that's what this is about. It's about being in that spot. This is just a place to come get a little encouragement when you're going through that, a little motivation, a little, hey, remember who you are, remember what you're doing when it gets a little thick. And I want to offer you the perspective in this place. I want to invite you to take on the same perspective that God invited me to take on, that I took on, that helped free me, helped make this desert place a little more bearable. And that is that you are stepping into something great, something better. And it might be uncomfortable. But if you do not accept the discomfort, if you're not willing to let go of that security, whatever that is, sometimes our security is just so wacko. We're like, wow, why am I even hanging on to this? I know it's not good for me. It doesn't actually make me happy. It gives me a temporary high. It's not actually fulfilling me, but for some reason I'm hanging on to it. And when you let that go, it might feel like everything's against you. But I want you to see that you are developing into someone incredible through this. Everything that is thrown at you, take those bricks, because you know everyone who's throwing a brick at you, including the enemy, they don't know how to build a house. They don't know how to take those bricks and build something with them. They're throwing all their bricks to you. Take those bricks and use them to build something. Take the life gives you and make something with it. Know that you are on your way to becoming a better version of yourself, and these things will help you become that. If you can endure and you can learn how to, I don't like this word, but I'm going to use it because for lack of a better word, like alchemize, like take all the crap that's thrown at you and turn it into something good. Create something good out of it. And you know what? God is on your side and he's trying to do that for you. And sometimes you got to go through that place. You have to endure that adversity, that pain, that resistance, and don't think of it as a bad thing. It's building you. It's offering you bricks to build up an empire. And if you turn back and you go back to Egypt, you will never give God or yourself the opportunity to help you through that place, to learn new things, to grow in new ways, to stretch into new places. The proof of our faith comes out when we are tested. If you stay in this place, if you endure that discomfort, you're going to find out who you really are. You're going to find out what you're really made of. When you step out, things are going to come out of hiding that you might not have known were there. Every little insecurity that you have, every little fear that you have, it's going to come up because it's being tested. It's being pushed to the surface so you can see it, so you can deal with it, so you can overcome it, so that you can become what you're meant to be. You're not meant to be low. You're not meant to be oppressed. You're not meant to be suppressed. You're not meant to be depressed. That's not who you are. But you have to face these things. You have to go toward them. You have to be willing to endure some pain and face some things that you've been avoiding. right now, I am putting myself out there. Every day that I come out here and do my walk and I hop on my podcast, actually, it's not so bad when I'm recording. It just flows and I'm not really thinking about it. But when I go and edit the podcast, I do just some light editing and I'm just taking out some big long silences or the ums and too many likes. Here we go. Probably edit that out. When I'm sitting there editing, there is this voice in my head that's like, why are you doing this? Nobody wants to listen to this shit. This crap, sorry. It's depressing. You're depressing. Get over it. Go focus on something positive. What else? You're being selfish. Yada, 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 yada. It goes on and on and on. And what is being revealed there is insecurity. It's coming up. In order to do what you're being called to do, we're getting a breeze here, and this mic is not the best, so bear with me here. It's not good in the wind. In order to go where God's calling you, I feel it in my soul. I feel it in my heart. I know it's right. But it's like that insecurity is going to come up, and I got to face it. It's going to be there. And if I listen to what it says and I run the other direction, I'm its slave. It owns me. I don't get to live my life's purpose. I don't get to go where God's calling me. I don't get to make him my Lord. I don't get to trust him. I don't get to develop faith and trust that he's going to get me through this and he's going to heal this. I don't get to do that. If I turn around and I'm like, okay, I think the secret is being able to see it for what it is. There's something you're going toward that's amazing and something wants to stop it. That's a sign. Hey, whatever I'm doing must be pretty cool because something wants to stop it. We have to just almost allow it to be there. We have to be defiant, be a little rebellious, be like, I see you. I know what you are. Those voices, whatever it is going to be there. In fact, you're going to awaken that spirit is what you're going to do. When you go toward your promised land, you're going to just awaken that spirit. Whatever it is. I know Nikki was talking about the other day for her, it's like panic attacks. If I do this thing, I'm going to get a panic attack, so I'm not going to do that. I have been not doing that because I don't want to feel the panic attack. You're going to awaken that. And if you can go toward it and you can be in it, guess what? You might be able to figure out how to deal with it. But as long as you're running from it, and this is to no offense of anybody because I've been there too. If you continue to run from that, it owns you. It is Lord of your life. It tells you where you're going to live and what you're going to do and how you're going to operate. Jesus came to free the slaves. We are not called to be small. We are not called to bow down to these things. We are called to take authority, to go toward, to be warriors. God gives us armor to face these things. God's people are not weak. We are conquerors. We are victorious. It is promised to us. That's who we are in him. When we come into his kingdom and we are adopted by him, we become a strong people. You have to go into that place. Awaken that beast. It will get awakened. And you have to be there and you have to learn how to war against it so that it does not defeat you. You have a promise that you will defeat it. But you've got to go toward it. You got to be there. And you have to learn how to fight it. And you have to stay there long enough that you conquer it. And it's going to try to outlast you. It's going to get bigger and louder until you cave back down. But if you stay there and you stay connected to God, he will be with you and he will conquer it for you. When he says he is with you and his rod and his staff comfort you, it's not just some fluffy, oh, I'm going to be here to soothe all your feeling. No, he's going to fight with you. baby. He's going to fight with you. And woo, if God is with us, who dare be against us? We have to go toward it, and we have to conquer that fear. And so this is just kind of a more positive spin on a possible setback. Is it really a setback? Or, as Nikki said, are you being set up for victory? Is victory right there? It's right there. The enemy fights hardest when you're almost there. He's like, oh crap, now I got to get it together. I got to start fighting because they're almost there. They're about to get that thing. They're about to step into that new version of themselves. They're about to overcome me. They're about to get their freedom. I got to fight harder. Keep going, baby. See it for what it is. That means you're about to break through. The pressure comes right before the breakthrough. Enormous pressure. It's asking, do you really want this? Are you really that person? Yes, I am. I will become that person through this. I'm ready. Sometimes to have a bigger blessing, to have a bigger purpose, you got to become a bigger person. You got to be strengthened. Perspective is everything. I'm headed for that promised land, and right now it might be hard, but I know what my promise is. And God is with me, and I have nothing to fear. I just need to step forward and stay there so that I can develop what I need to develop and learn what I need to learn and gain what I need to gain to conquer this. And if you never step out because you're too afraid, because you've made fear your God, you will never become the person that God wants you to be. Part of this faith walk is action. Part of it is God calling you somewhere, and no matter whether you're shaking in your boots and the enemy is roaring, a scary roar, you're standing. Your brain might make you believe you're going to die for this. Okay, be willing to die for Christ. We talk about our Christ identity all the time on this podcast. You cannot live out your Christ identity if you're not willing to go where He's calling you to go and face the demons He's calling you to face and fight those demons and overcome them and find out who you really are. That enemy, you got to know his voice. You got to know God's voice, and you got to know His voice. And His voice is going to come and try to get you to believe all these things, just like me. No one's going to want to listen to your crap. But you know what? I'm aware enough. I'm like, oh, okay. So you don't want this out there because someone is going to get something from it. It's going to help someone. Someone's out there praying probably. And God is like, okay, willing vessel, I'm going to answer their prayer through you. So I'm like, oh, okay, so you're trying to destroy my blessing and someone else's blessing. So there must be something valuable here. And I'm just like, no, you can come along for this ride. You can be whispering in my ear, but I'm still going to do this. And eventually I'm going to conquer you. So you got to know His voice, and you got to just know it's going to be there. When you try to push forward and try to gain new ground, there's going to be opposition. It does not mean it's not happening. It means it is happening. It means God's working. You got to see it. You got to know it. You got to be so aware. And you got to step out anyway. And this is where the faith comes in. This is where your faith is proven. Is when you step out into that incredible fear or pain or whatever it is that you got to face. You got to go through that valley of pain to get to the promised land. When you step out in there, you're putting it all on God. You're saying, I am too weak. As I am, where I am too weak. I cannot do this. I'm stepping out in faith that God, you're going to catch me. You're going to hold me. You're going to fight with me. You're going to fight for me. All I got to do is step and trust. And that is where it's proven. Is when you step out into that valley, are you going to step? Are you going to trust God to catch you, to take you through that, to grow you, to strengthen you? It's His strength. Or are you just going to say, God, I don't think you can do this. I'm just going to stay where I am. I don't think you got it in you. What kind of God are you believing in? This is when it shows. We can talk about this on this podcast all day long. But are you willing to bank on your God? You say he's so great. Are you willing to bank on it? Are you willing to put your life on the line? Because your brain's saying, hey, worst case scenario, you're going to die if you do this. Fear can be so incredibly strong. Are you willing to put your money on your God? Are you? Because if he's calling you somewhere, he's going to get you through it. Do you really believe that? Do you even know your God? Do you even actually trust him? This is where relationship is so important. I never got God until I had a relationship with him. Religion didn't matter. All the legalism, all the crap they tell you, none of it mattered. What it came down to was my relationship with God and trusting him. And trusting him in the hardest of times. Going where he is calling me to go. Letting go of my own self. If I was selfish, I'd be like, I don't want to do this podcast. I don't got time for this. I just want to grieve. God's like, no. No. If you're going to go through that dark cave, we're going to mine the diamonds out of it and we're going to share them. It's not all for you. So you're going to share what you're learning, what I'm teaching you through this. Your testimony can strengthen somebody else. When they're in the darkness and they don't know what to do, the world feels like it's falling in on them. You're going to remind them, hang on to God's hand. Because he can do anything. It's not over for you, baby. It is not over for you. And that is a valuable message, no matter how the enemy argues against it. So this is when our faith is tested. Are you willing to die for Christ as he died for you? Are you willing to lay aside your fears and what the enemy's saying? Are you willing to step out and bank on him? That he's going to catch you, he's going to pull you through this. Because if you're not, what are we doing here? Why are we wasting our time worshiping a God who cannot do that? Let's go find another God. I'm not saying you should do that. But if you're not willing to step, and the thing is God only needs a mustard seed. He only needs a mustard seed. Nikki talks about being in a bedridden state. I have been in a bedridden state from long COVID for months. And I walk an hour every morning. I went from being a PE teacher, working at a gym. I worked at a gym since I was 17 years old. All the way till I was probably about 40. I don't know how old I was. 40, 41, maybe 39. It was in 2022. I'm born in 1983. Do the math. I got long COVID. I went from teaching PE for 7 periods a day, and then I would go do my own workout, and I would also go work at a gym after school, depending on the season. Some seasons I was just working at a gym. That was my 9 to 5. I went from that overnight to barely being able to make it to the mailbox. I thought that was my death. Aside from losing my girls, that was probably the hardest thing I've ever been through. My body just wouldn't function anymore. And God promised me he would heal me. And I had to hang on to that. And I walk an hour every day now. I went from barely being able to go to the mailbox to walking an hour. And it's been 3 years. And it was slow. I had to I'm going to get up out of this bed and I'm going to walk out to the kitchen. I'm going to trust God because he said he was going to heal me. So I'm going to trust God to strengthen me. And then I'm going to take a few steps down the porch. I'm going to make it to the end of the sidewalk toward the gate. I'm going to go walk for 2 minutes. It was these little teeny baby steps. And as I stepped out, God strengthened me. He brought me through that step by step by step by step. And now I can reach back to somebody else who's in that state. I can say, God did it for me. He will do it for you. My mom, she had stage 4 cancer. It was everywhere. They gave her no chance. In fact, doctors just sent her away. They were like, there's nothing we can do for you. Get your affairs in order. We're not even going to waste our time on you in the kindest way. We're not going to waste our resources on you. There is no hope for you. But my mom, she is a very faithful woman. And God told her he was going to heal her. And she found this one doctor. And she was like, God says he's going to heal me. And he's like, if you really think that, then I'll try to help you. Even though I'm sure he was like, I just almost feel bad for this lady. Let me see what I can do, even though I don't think there's any chance. My mom completely surrendered to God. In fact, that was the first time I actually thought about, like, I was deep in New Ageism, near atheism. Jesus was not my guy. I was very angry at religion, yada, yada, yada. And my mom, I was her caretaker through that. I moved in with her, and I have never seen somebody so calm and so at peace. And I remember asking her at one point, like, I remember being envious, like, how is she doing this? I meditate and I teach yoga. Back then I taught meditation and yoga. I teach yoga and meditation every day. And I do my own practice, and I do not have that kind of peace. What does she have that I don't have? And I remember asking her, I'm like, how are you so calm? And she's just like, I trust God. I don't have to worry about anything. God gives me peace. He's giving me a supernatural peace. Jesus. She specifically said Jesus. And at the time I thought, oh, okay, never mind that, but that's really cool. And that was like my first glimpse when I was in that stage of, like, it was never anything anyone said or anything preached at me or people judging or condemning. Like, it was my mom and her example of facing death and having everybody around you tell you there's no hope, but you have a promise, a knowing deep inside your soul that God said he was going to heal you, and hanging on to that. She's the perfect example of this. She had to go through a process. 6 months later, she was completely healed. And you know what? My mom's 80 now. She's been in remission since 2015. It's 2026 now. 11 years. She runs circles around all of us. She is the healthiest person I know. She freaking reversed diabetes by eating tons of sugar. I don't promote that, but she did. She says God did it for her. But I don't know where I'm going with this. This is all just to say that God will get you through it. If he says he's going to do it, he's going to do it, and he will do it all. He can take the teeniest, tiniest little mustard seed of faith. I saw that in myself. Just take one step today. One step, whatever you're battling. If it's alcohol, go 1 hour. 1 hour longer than you normally do. If it's agoraphobia, take that one step further than you would take out the door. If it's grief, like me, there's a temptation. People are like, you're so strong. Don't you think for a second that the devil, every step of the way, isn't trying to get me to turn on God? Don't you think that? He's still there. I just don't give it. I know his voice, and I know my Lord's voice, and I just ignore it. I'm like, no, thank you. Don't think he's not going to try. He's going to try. For grief, for me, it's like, I'm going to trust you 1 hour longer, God, in this horrible situation. Just give him that little mustard seed. He can take that. He'll take that. And he's going to take you through this valley on that one little mustard seed. I know he will. And if you don't have the faith, because I didn't have the faith, I remember thinking through Jade's passing, like, oh, I'm screwing this all up. Look at everyone around me. They're so amazing. You know, everyone glorifies those people who their faith never breaks. Their trust never shatters. And I promote that right now on this too. Guess what? If you have no faith, that's okay. That's where I found my faith, was when I had no faith. And you know what? God is the perfecter of my faith. God is the maker of my faith. I had no faith. I had a little teeny mustard seed. I was just sort of kind of a little bit willing, very hesitant, very cautious of a God I didn't trust, a God I didn't think had the power. If you're screwing it all up and you've been in this place going around in circles and you just can't do it, you're like, I just don't have what it takes. I'm sorry, Sandy. I don't even have the faith. I don't even have a step in me. That's okay. Pray the most simple prayer. God, help me. I don't know how to do it, but maybe you do. If you do, if you're out there, can you come and help me? And I know maybe you've prayed this prayer a million times and he seems like he's not showing up. He's doing something. He's developing your faith in this spot right now so that you can be prepared for this journey he's going to take you on out of here. So maybe right now he's developing patience and endurance. But all you need is a little teeny time. That was my prayer. God, I thought I could do this without you, but I can't. I don't even know if you're still out there, but if you are, I don't know. I don't even know. Help me in a way. I don't know how to help myself if you can. And I understand I might be too far gone. That wasn't even the length of the prayer. It was way shorter, way more simple. But he can take that mustard seed. If you don't have any faith, that's okay. You'll build that faith. You'll come from having no faith into being a faithful person. That's the journey. That's what is going to be built in you. You're going to be able to handle this one day. It's going to have no power over you. You're going to be developed into that person who has the faith, who has the strength, who has that reliance on God, who can handle this. Back during Jade's passing, I just believed whatever the enemy fed me. I was like, oh, this is good. No questions. Now I see every freaking thought that the enemy puts in my mind, and I'm like, no, thank you. I'm going to control my mind. I'm going to put what I want in my mind. I'm going to believe what I want to believe. I'm going to say what I want to say. And I want to say that my God is good. And I want to speak after my God. And I want to speak life over myself. So take a hike. But I couldn't do that before I went on that journey. I didn't have that kind of faith. I didn't have a faith that could hold together when my girl passed. Now I do. And God did all of it with a little teeny, eensy weensy, little, not even a seed. So, you're in this journey. You cannot, well, you can turn around and go the other way. You can try to go around it. You can try to go over it. You can run tricks all day long. But until you link arms with God and you go through it and you face these demons and you conquer them with him, until you do that, you will be a prisoner. You will be a slave. You've got to come to Christ. He is the one who frees the slaves. And you got to let him do all of it. All of it. You cannot be trying to do anything out of your own strength. The enemy will win. I guarantee it. We are no match for him. But through Christ, who already conquered him, it is nothing. He takes the mountain and turns it into a pebble. So that is my little motivational podcast this morning for anyone who's in a tough spot. Is it really a tough spot, or are you being built? That's my question to you. Can your God do it? Can he? My God can. I've seen him. He will do it. He is doing it. I'm going to step out in faith because I know he's going to catch me. He's going to carry me through that. His yoke is easy. His burden is light. Do you trust your God? You brag him up all day, or maybe you don't, but I know some people who brag him up all day. Put your money where your mouth is. Can he do what you say he can do? Let's find out. Step out into that thing that is against you. Step out. I want to see it. I want to see you get free. I want to see you be built. I want to see that next version of you. I want to see you victorious. I know that's in you. But as long as you're running, pretending, But you're small. And this thing is bigger than your God. You will never see that. You'll never know who you really are and who your God really is. Come on, I dare you. I triple dog dare you to step out into that thing that you think you can't do. And keep stepping. And let your God put that enemy in its place. All right. I'm going to go now. Love you.